Hey everyone, and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. So this is going to be my fourth and final reading vlog for Becca's Bookoplathon. It's currently Wednesday the 22nd of September and I have two books left on my Bookoplathon TBR that I really need to read before the end of the month. So the first of those books is the final revival of Opal and Nev by Dawnie Walton, which I have started. I'm over 50% of the way through. If you watched my 24-hour reading vlog from the magical readathon 24-hour readathon. Does that make sense? If you watched my last reading vlog, then you'll have seen that I did make a start on this over the weekend. However, I haven't really been reading much the last few days because, I don't know, I just haven't really been in the mood to read. So I thought I would take a little bit of a break, but I am over, I think I'm about 60% of the way through, and I think I could actually finish it tonight because it's reading quite quickly. This is a literary novel. I don't know if it's actually classed as historical fiction because it's about these two musicians who were quite popular and quite well known in the 1970s. It's been compared a lot to Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid because the way that it's told is in this interview style format, and also it's about the music industry. However, other than that, it's very different to Daisy Jones because the characters feel completely different. I am really enjoying it so far though, and I think what I like the most is how the characters feel very real because it's told in this interview style format. You do get to know the characters quite well, and the book starts off by introducing you to these two characters separately, and then you see how they came together. And another thing that I am really liking is the subtle foreshadowing throughout the story. So for example, one of the characters will say something and then they'll reference something that also happened that is common knowledge, but it's not common knowledge to us as the reader, if that makes sense. So yeah, they'll say something like, oh yeah, and then this happened, and as you know, that led to this. But they won't say exactly what they mean, and so you know that something bad is going to happen, but you don't know what. And so it creates this really interesting tension. So yeah, I am hoping that I will be able to finish this either tonight or tomorrow. And then the next book that I'm planning to pick up is not actually on my TBR, and there is a reason for this, we'll get to that, but the next book that I am hoping to pick up is The Poison Song by Jen Williams. So this is the third book and the final book in the Winnowing Flame trilogy. I finished the second book last week and I really want to read this because I really want to first of all complete the series, and also the way that the last book ended, I feel really invested in these characters, and so I want to find out what's going to happen. So I think I might pick this up over the weekend. And then the final book that I need to read, the final book that's actually on my Bookoplathon TBR, is The Well of Ascension, which is this one by Brandon Sanderson. So this is the second book in the Mistborn series. I am obviously hoping that I will have time to at least start this before the end of the month, because I had an idea for a reading vlog where I'll try and read this book and also The Hero of Ages in one reading vlog and do maybe spoilers and stuff. I don't know, I haven't really thought it through, but I thought that it made more sense to finish off The Poison Song and then move on to this, because I'm hoping to read this and The Hero of Ages back to back. So that is my plan for this reading vlog. We're going to see how it goes though, because I am going out for lunch this weekend with my nan and my sister, so I'm probably not going to do much reading on Saturday. Then at some point I do also need to film my October TBR and get that edited because I want to schedule it to go out on Monday. So by the time you're watching this vlog, it might actually already be live. If it is, then I'll leave it in the description and in the cards. Otherwise though, I will catch up with you once I have done some actual reading. Good morning. So I didn't vlog yesterday because I forgot, but I did end up finishing the final revival of Opal and Nev by Dawnie Walton, and I've given this 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I was kind of torn between a 4 and a 5 stars, and it came out as a 4 stars in core pile, but it was 1 mark off. And you know how sometimes you're reading a book and it is giving you those 5-star feelings? I got that with this book, and there was one little issue that I had with it, but it was mostly down to the ebook, and so I didn't feel like it was very fair for me to mark the book down overall because of that. Can't remember if I mentioned actually, but this book came out earlier this year and I did get an arc of it through Netgalley. However, I didn't get around to reading it at the time, so I'm reading it now. The basic plot behind this book is that you're following a journalist who's writing a book about Opal and Nev, who were this famous rock music duo in the 1970s. The journalist does have a personal interest in the story, which you do learn about quite quickly, but I'm not going to say it in this vlog. It wouldn't really be a spoiler, but also I feel like it's better to learn that as you go into the book. What I really liked most about this book was the character development, and especially the character development of Opal's character. You learn in the beginning of the book that Opal was diagnosed with alopecia when she was a child, and so you see how that affected her confidence. And then throughout the book there's a lot of progression, and by the end of the book I felt like she was a real person. The one small criticism that I had is mostly to do with the way that the book is structured. So it's told in this interview style format, and then you also get, so for example, like magazine articles and transcripts and things like that, which I did really enjoy. However, there are also breaks in the text where you get author's notes, and they're author's notes that are written by the fictional author within the book, and I found that they broke up the flow a little bit. I think there are also meant to be footnotes within the book. However, because of the way that the ebook was formatted, they didn't show up as footnotes. It would be like really random. You'd be reading a sentence and then it would be cut off, and then there would be this random paragraph that would relate to a footnote a few pages back, if that makes sense. So yeah, I found that a little bit distracting, but like I said, I don't think it's fair for me to rate a book lower because of that, because I don't know whether it's just an issue with the arc or whether it's an issue with the ebook. This was on my Bookoplathon TBR to read a book with POC rep. So Opal is black and Nev is white, and that is actually a pretty important detail, which I can't remember if I mentioned in this vlog. I think I did mention it in my last vlog, but yeah, this book does look at racism in the music industry, and especially at that time.
Wayward is my fickle heart. Where would I be if it weren't for your grace, your strength? Faithful is your mighty hand, drawing me close with your tender kindness, your mercy that saves.
Hey everyone, so I have just finished filming my October TBR, and my throat does not feel good. I think because I was out all day with my nan and my sister, like we went for lunch earlier, and then I Skyped my dad when I got home, and so I've done nothing but talk all day. And living alone, I don't really talk that much anymore, as weird as that might sound, because I don't really speak to many people other than my cat. So yeah, I feel like I need to rest my voice for a few hours, but I thought I would do a quick update because I have made a start on my next book. I've made a start on The Poison Song by Jen Williams. I'm literally only about 50 pages in, so I can't tell you much about this book, especially because it's the third book in a series, and so I don't want to spoil anything. But this series as a whole has been amazing. Like, I think that this has the potential to become a new favourite series. It's an adult fantasy with a sci-fi twist. The characters are really well developed, and the world is just so mysterious but so interesting. And I think that if you like fantasy and this series isn't on your radar yet, then it needs to be on your radar, because I have loved it so far, and I'm really hoping that this book doesn't let me down. I'm a little bit worried because this is a 560 page book, and I need to read this within the next few days. We've got 6 days until the end of the month, so I need to finish this within, yeah, like the next 4 or 5 days, because I then need to pick up The Well of Ascension. So do we think I can do this? I don't think I can do this. I think that I'm going to still be reading this when we get to the end of the month, and then I'm going to be really annoyed at myself because I'll have technically failed my Bookoplathon TBR, but also I'm reading what I want to be reading, so I can't be too hard on myself. But as well as this, I am still listening to the audiobook for Assassin's Quest. I keep forgetting to mention that I'm reading this because I've been listening to it for, wow, the whole month basically. I'm pretty sure that I started it right at the start of the month. Like, I've been listening to it for the past 3 weeks, and it's finally getting good. I've been on a bit of a journey with this series. I really enjoyed the first book, Assassin's Apprentice. Really loved it, gave it a solid 4 stars. And then I got to Royal Assassin book 2, and I enjoyed it as a whole. I really liked the ending, but I found that it was dragging in places and that it was just so slow. And I don't mind slower books, but I think that there's a limit for me, where sometimes I'll be reading a book and I'll get bored because it's just taking so long to get through. I am really enjoying the audiobooks for this though, I will say that. Like, even though I'm like being quite harsh, I do really like the narration on the audiobook, and there are certain characters that I have just fell in love with, and so I want to know what happens to them. Hoping that I will be able to finish this book by the end of the month, because I don't know if this was on my Bookoplathon TBR or whether it was just on my Magical Readathon TBR, but yeah, I don't want to have to carry this over into October because there's other books that I want to be listening to in October. Hey everyone, and happy Monday. So I can't remember actually if I've already said in this vlog, but I am gonna run this vlog over until about Wednesday, I think, and then schedule it to go live on Thursday, hopefully. I didn't see the point in ending this vlog today when I already have a video that's going live today, and also it's nearly the end of the month, and so I thought it would make sense to run this vlog until the end of Bookoplathon rather than do like an overlap. But anyway, I am now about 200 pages into The Poison Song by Jen Williams, and I am nervous about this book because it's the last book in a series and things are being hinted at that I don't want to happen. Obviously I can't tell you much about this particular book because of spoilers, and I can't remember what I've said about this series as a whole in this vlog, but for anyone who doesn't know, this is an adult fantasy series that has a sci-fi twist. So a few hundred years ago there was this war, and then there were these other wars that happened before that. And because of these wars, this world has been changed and essentially it's been poisoned. And you're following these three main characters who are trying to uncover the reason why certain things are happening in this world. That's the basic premise of the first book, and then obviously the series does develop from there, but it's a very, very mysterious world, and even in this book there's still more stuff that we're learning, and I love it. I love books like this where you can theorize and where, how do I say this? You know how sometimes you'll be reading a book and something will be revealed and you'll be thinking, oh, okay, I didn't see that come in, but actually that makes a lot of sense. Like, that's what this book is so far. Or I should say that's what this series is for me so far. So hoping to read another chunk of this tonight. It would be nice if I could get to around the halfway point, or past the halfway point actually, because how much do I have to read actually of this book to finish it by the end of the month? Like 150 pages per day. So I am now about 200 pages. Ow, I just hit myself in the head. I am now about 200 pages from the end of The Poison Song. And I feel like not a lot has really happened in this book in comparison to the previous two books. But then I was thinking about this series as a whole. I mean, there is stuff that happens, like there is action, but I do feel like this series is more about the characters and it's more about the world and the mystery behind the world. And I think that because I do love these characters so much, I don't really mind when the story is moving a lot slower. I was trying to think earlier how I think this series is going to end. I don't mind if it's a little bit predictable, but I'm hoping that there's going to be a few more reveals and maybe a few more surprises still to come. Hey everyone, so I have literally just finished The Poison Song by Jen Williams. I literally finished this about 5-10 minutes ago, and I thought I would sit down and film my reaction now, even though now that I'm actually sat here, I don't know what I can say about this book because I really don't want to go into spoilers, and I feel like if I say anything about the ending, then that would go into spoilery territory. If I had to rank the books in this series, then I would say that The Ninth Reign is still my favourite, then this book, then The Bitter Twins at the bottom. However, I've given every single book 4 or 5 stars. I think this is going to be about 4.5. I haven't ran it through Corpile yet, but I mean, this series as a whole is amazing. I think I've already spoken about how much I love the characters in this series, but I think that actually something that I haven't mentioned yet is that there's also really good LGBTQ plus rep in this book and the series as a whole. I know that I have been really, really positive about this series, and so I've been trying to think of reasons why someone maybe probably wouldn't like this series. And the only thing that I did want to mention is that there's been a few moments throughout this series that have really made my skin crawl. And I wouldn't say that it's a horror, but I would say that there are a few horrifying moments throughout this series. Otherwise though, absolutely loved it. Really glad that I actually managed to finish this book because it is currently Wednesday, so there's one more day left of the month, which means I could this evening or maybe tomorrow evening make a start on The Well of Ascension, which is the last book on my Bookoplathon TBR. I think the way that Bookoplathon works is that as long as you've started the books on your TBR, then it doesn't matter if you haven't finished them technically by the end of the month. So I think that is my plan, is to start The Well of Ascension either tonight or tomorrow. And then I am still listening to the audiobook for Assassin's Quest. I think I have got, let me just get my Scribd app up. I am on chapter 30. I've got just under 9 hours left on the audiobook, but I'm listening on 1.8 speed, I think it is. So yeah, don't know if I'm actually going to be able to finish this by tomorrow, but I think that as long as I've finished it by the end of the weekend, then I'll obviously still be able to include it in my September wrap up, because I've read most of it in September. And yeah, I know that I'm not going to have a chance to film my wrap up until the evening. So otherwise though, I think I am going to end the reading vlog here. So thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comments if you've read any of the books that I've talked about in this vlog. Let me know as well if you've been taking part in Bookoplathon. Did you complete your TBR? Because yeah, it's been a struggle, and I don't know how, because I think I only had 6 or 7 books officially on my TBR, and usually I can do that quite easily, but it's just been one of those months. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and click subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.